country got was South Korea, and their problem at the moment is low fertility rates. So low fertility rates basically means the women aren't having enough children. So the fertility rate is also known as FR, that's why it says up here. And also, fertility rates can either be super high or super low, and for South Korea, it's really low. So on average, women should have 2 children, and that's how it is for the U.S., and it's been working for them. So less than about 360,000 babies will be born this year, leading to concern the effect of an aging population on the economy. This is bad for them because if the government doesn't have enough money to pay all the elders and for their retirement, and if young women or young people aren't like working, then they don't have money. And at the moment, since 1985, the birth rate has dropped to 1.17 children per woman.
Why is South Korea's birth rate hit an all-time low? We don't know the exact reason right now, so you can say it's unknown. But there are some factors playing into it, like prices for living space goes up 5% almost every 2 years. So having to pay for expenses is a big factor, because having a baby will cost even more money, and even rent just going up. Rent cost plus high youth unemployment equals 25-year-old living with their parents till 30. And jobs discourage women from getting pregnant. And so like they can make them kind of feel embarrassed or like unwanted. So women get isolated and talked about, they get looked at as they disappoint the whole business. And yeah.
So women have made the decision not to have children until social and economic conditions are more favorable. And to have a family, it costs money. So a lot of women, they don't have enough money to take care of a family, so that's why they don't have children. And then women don't agree that they should always be a stay-at-home mom. Men should spend more time caring for their children than the wives. So men are typically the ones to like go to work and like care for the family and like provide the money, when women want that, like they don't want to be at home taking care of the children all the time. These are just some propaganda posters that like support the birth strike for women.
So understanding the problem of the low birth rate and understanding the effects that it has on South Korea. It has a negative effect on South Korea. It's not doing any good for it. So one of the problems is declining workforce, because with less young people going to school, there will be less teachers, less doctors, and less like people going to the army and helping South Korea. And another problem is age imbalance. So many people, people are living up to almost 90 to almost 100 years old, which is taking an effect on their economy, whatever. And with more older people, that associates with healthcare cost increase, and since the government isn't already getting enough money from the young people who are paying taxes, they can go bankrupt. So leading to that with taxpayers, there's not enough young adults to pay for taxes, which in that the government loses money and can eventually end up broke or having to take loans out. And yeah.
How can you never want to have a children this adorable?
So the proposal, the Korean government has tried to initiate new policies which would help the increase of the fertility rate in South Korea. South Korea has spent around $70 billion trying to increase the cost. They've done things as give out baby bonuses, improve maternity leave, and help pay infertility treatment. Like here for the baby bonus, for your first and second baby, you get $8,000, and that can go towards the rent cost. But then again, then there's food, and then there's your water bill and trash bill, so it's not really adding up right.
South Korea's low birth/fertility just affect South Korea, but also their neighbors. The countries affected negatively. But this are Japan and China. So Japan and China are trying to get their low fertility rate up, but since South Korea just keeps on bringing them down, it is unsuccessful.
So as seen in the graph, China has 1.55 the fertility rate as of 2014, and then Japan has 1.40, and South Korea at the time had 1.25, but since that's gone down to 1.17, it's also brought China and Japan down. Click it.
Okay, so say it.
The South Korea team.
Yay!
Yay!